Okay, so today we're discussing God's definition of God, part 3. Part 3. I was supposed to discuss it yesterday, this particular idea, but the point I thought was going to take 1 minute ended up taking about 7, close to 10 minutes. So, and I don't want to make the videos too long. I feel it will make people less, it will make people, to scare people away from the video. So it has the opposite effect. So we're going to discuss what I planned to discuss yesterday. Yesterday, we ended up discussing what God should be and why God is what things should be. So today we're going into is God justice or grace, as you saw on the title. Is God justice or grace? So to explain it, I'm going to go through the fundamentals, the basics, from the very foundation of the Bible, where God created the tree of life and the tree of good and evil. The tree of life and the tree of good and evil. So those two trees, tree of life, if you notice, the tree of life is just one thing. Tree of life, then the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. So we'll simplify the tree of good and evil. So we'll now see God's definition of God. Which one is God? Based on, we've already discussed that God is what things should be, not what things are. It doesn't matter what things are. God needs to be, for him to be the maximum, needs to be what things should be, what would be the most ideal situation. So it's not a matter of the God that you have. So you just have to work with him like that. No. The God that you have is not God if he's not the maximum possible. He may be the one that you have chosen to worship as God or whatever you have chosen to do. That is an opinion. Well, for God to be God by fact, irrefutable, incontestable proof is that he's the maximum possible. So based on that, we're going to go into the tree of life and the tree of good and evil, and then we'll see which one produces which tree, what element. So, now the title was, is God justice or grace? So we'll now see if does justice produce life, or does it produce good and evil? And does grace produce life, or does it produce good and evil? Then we'll decide which one God is and which one God needs to be for him to even be able to claim to be God. If he at all is God, so we can identify him. These are God's characteristics. So we can identify him, so we can know, okay, we are dealing with God now, or we are dealing with the devil now. So, justice or grace. Let's get to it. Let me start by explaining. A tree. Yeah, one more thing I have to explain first. A tree is identified by what it produces, by the fruit it produces. An apple tree is called an apple tree because it bears apple fruit. If it was a tree itself, you just say a small tree because apple trees aren't that big. You say a small tree. If you see a mahogany, maybe you say a big tree or that kind of stuff. But they don't call them that. They identify them by their fruit. So an apple tree bears apples. Mango tree is called a mango tree because it produces mangoes. So forgive me, I have to get used to looking into this lens. It's very confusing all this, the way it's arranged right now. But so justice or grace. So we'll start with justice. Let's look at what justice produces. When justice is enacted, when justice is enforced, what it produces. Justice says, if someone you should reap what you sow. If you do evil, evil should be done to you. If you do good, good should be done to you. So to simplify it, to make a simple example for what we're going to do, because if we go deep, we'll get lost. Simplify it. Let's say you kill somebody. Justice says you should be killed as well. So that the killer is now gone, he no longer exists, that problem is no longer existent, and then the non-killers, the good people that help others, are around, are allowed to be. So now the killer is destroyed and the healer is healed himself. So a healer took you from weak to strong. So now he himself should be taken from his present state to a stronger state. He should keep on, as he upgraded you, he too should be upgraded. So that intent that he has to help people, he now has more power, he now has more ability, he now has more authority to help people. Well, this one that wants to destroy people should be destroyed. He wants to hinder people from achieving what they want because you wanted to live. He imposed his own will on you and killed you in spite of your own will for yourself. So he that is denying people their desires, his own desires too should be denied. So his desire to kill and to destroy should be denied him, and instead he should be destroyed. He should be killed. He should be hindered. His will should never come to pass. So when you have justice, you can see that evil is destroyed and life is amplified. Evil is destroyed and good is amplified. Everything is flourishing because only the good that will survive. If you are neutral, you remain on that level. If you are good, you will keep on growing because the good you do will be returned back to you. If you're good on this level, you did good to somebody else, by the time good comes back to you, you get good to this level. You do good again, and now you're on a higher level, so your ability to do good is even greater. So you do good again, it comes back to you again, you get high, you keep on growing like that. And then evil, you do evil, you go down. You try to do evil again, you keep going down, you keep going down. So with justice, only life is produced, only good things are produced, only life. So justice, you can see, based on its definition, is supposed to be the tree of life. For is the tree of life because it produces life, it produces only good. Now let's go to grace. Let's go to grace. Grace says, if you kill somebody, if you do evil, you should not be killed. Not by any means. They should forgive you and give you another chance. Even if you should do it again, they should forgive you again and give you another chance. They should keep giving you opportunities that there's good in you, there's good in everybody. So because of the few good things you do once in a while, we should permit these great evils you are doing because there is also good in you. So you can see it already is permitting good and evil. It's already beginning to permit good and evil because if somebody is evil but he did a few good things, they should still keep him because there's still good in him. He still has use. Okay. So now we keep him, then he keeps on doing the evil, or at least maybe he stops doing the evil because good has been done to him. Then when things get bad, of course, you rise up again, just like John Wick or any other evil person. When they are surrounded by good, they have less justification to do their evil. So, but the moment evil is done to them, they pick up again and they remember themselves and they do evil again. So we should keep, so with grace or forgiveness, it says that the evil person should be brought back into society with the good people. You can see good and evil. It keeps sustaining good and evil. So grace says the evil should never ever be destroyed. It should keep on allowed to come back on the guys under the pretext that it may change, it may get better, it may become good. But even if it doesn't become good, they should still give him again. If we take it deeper with Jesus' version of grace and forgiveness, they should actually be giving this thing 70 times, 7 times. Now, spiritually, 7 on its own, 7 alone, already means infinite. It already means infinite means uncountable. That's what 7 means. It means rest. It means when God says 7, they are referring to infinite. All those numbers have meanings. Infinite. So, that's why you see sometimes you say the 7 stars. He has the 7 stars in his right hand. It means infinite stars. All knowledge, all wisdom, anyone that is or can ever be, he knows it. We'll get into that later. But all those things with God are not fictional. They are not just boast. They are actually technical. You can be proven when you understand Him. So 7, then 70. 70 is because 7 is already infinite. So the 0 is like saying 70 times 7 is like eternity times eternity. If 7 is already infinite, it's already eternity. So they are basically saying infinity, 70. Infinity times 7 times infinity. So infinity, eternity of eternities. They should keep forgiving these wicked people. And not only should they forgive them, they should keep on giving them, they should clear the slate. So now it looks like it's forgiveness, but it's actually decontextualization. You're erasing context and telling us that it is forgiving and it is giving somebody a second chance. Because if somebody came to my house and he raped my daughter and wanted to destroy him, and said I should forgive him. Okay, let us say I won't forgive him, no problem. Let's not even say I won't take him to prison and did all the proper things. I forgive him, I give him a second chance. I come back tomorrow, he raped my wife. Okay, forgive, no problem. And forget. Okay, no problem, I've forgotten. I come back tomorrow, he's raping my other daughter. Keep saying I should forgive and forget. So forget means that I cannot even act now based in the proper context. Because I should be really, really angry right now. This is not the first time, it's not a mistake. But because of the forgetting part, if I should try to bring up those things, say I'm keeping a record of wrongs, I'm supposed to forgive and forget. So that forgive and forget is actually me taking away the context, because if somebody sees me so angry, I'm fuming, I'm crazy, I'm mad, I want to kill this person, he doesn't understand that this is the third time. He thinks I'm supposed to act like it's the first time. So all the pain, all the trauma is on the righteous, and the wicked has it so bloody easy. He can do, because when he has done it, he has enjoyed himself. He has come and he has, I don't know, he has banged that girl, all this kind of stuff. So it's very good for him. It's breaking my family, it's breaking my children, it's breaking my wife. But all the advantages with the wicked. When you practice grace, it only favors the wicked. And because there are many people that are unwilling to do the right thing, that's why it is so popular, because it favors them. If you're a righteous man, grace would be a punishment to be held to you. So that is it. So I don't want to go into much this. Tomorrow I'll explain more about identity and how you can identify people and how to know who is who and what is what they produce. But for now, so we'll leave that one for now. So grace versus justice. Now, justice, unwaveringly grace. Even when it comes in the end to say with the claim that you come and judge people according to their deeds, the Christians who for the most part, do not do the right thing, do not have any plans to do the right thing, will still go to heaven, which means it's still by grace. He claims to be judged according to their deeds, but if it's accurate to be judged according to their deeds, they will not go to heaven for the most part. So it is by grace. So it is grace that is still the fundamental. It is grace that is still pushing. He just uses justice because he knows that grace cannot stand on its own for long. So he has to mix in a bit of justice and make it look like there's the justice involved. But ultimately, it's grace. Even though 90% of Christians are not going anywhere. You have lived with them. You have met them. In fact, a Muslim, if you remove the violent part, a Muslim is better than a Christian in terms of cheating. A Christian will cheat you left, right, and center and come back and pray to God and say, God forgive me. And that's the end of the matter. God of grace. Muslims are more bound by law, so they are more careful to do the right thing because there's less grace in their own system. So they are more careful to do the right thing because Allah, according to their own understanding, is more likely to punish them. So if you are to follow by justice, that he wants to look like he's going to come back and judge with justice. If it is just with justice, the Christians themselves will not make it to the heaven. So it's grace. It's grace. So grace produces good and evil. Justice produces life. If you want to claim you can disprove it, you are free in the comments. But I'm not here to argue with anybody. I'm just trying to teach you what it is. If it confuses you, you need my elaboration, there's no problem. Thought it would take me longer to get to this point, but we're already here. So we already started breaking down the delusions and the confusion. This is the main reason why Christianity and religion has ceased to make sense. It keeps on falling apart, keeps dilapidating because of the inversion of who God actually is. So God is justice. Or let's just say justice produces the tree of justice is the tree of life, and grace is the tree of good and evil. You can see from the explanation. So my name is Funom Zock-Sock. I created this YouTube channel so I could teach God's actual way of doing things, God's version of things, God's point of view, which I had to learn myself. It wasn't easy, but we did learn it. Still learning it. So right now we're dealing with social issues. We finished with moral issues in my training. We're dealing with social issues. So that's what we're going to be handling now for the most part. But I have to be going back and forth between social and moral because moral forms the foundation of socials. The morals determine the manifestation of socials. So if you would like to be part of that, if you'd like to learn more about that, you can stick with me on the channel. Nice to meet you.